Progressive politicians have taken various actions to address systemic racism, recognizing the historical and ongoing injustices faced by marginalized communities. Here's a detailed description of what progressive politicians have done to tackle systemic racism. Progressive politicians have been at the forefront of advocating for criminal justice reform to address racial disparities in the criminal justice system. They have supported measures such as ending mass incarceration and investing in community-based programs for rehabilitation and reintegration. Progressives have also pushed for police accountability measures, such as banning chokeholds and no-knock warrants, implementing de-escalation training, and establishing civilian oversight boards to hold law enforcement accountable for misconduct and brutality. In response to instances of police violence and brutality disproportionately affecting communities of color, progressive politicians have championed police reform efforts. They have supported policies to demilitarize law enforcement agencies, promote community policing models, and implement implicit bias training for police officers. Progressives have also advocated for reallocating funding from police departments to social services and community-led initiatives aimed at addressing the root causes of crime and promoting public safety. Progressive politicians have fought to protect and expand voting rights, recognizing that voter suppression disproportionately affects communities of color. They have opposed voter ID laws, voter purges, and other measures aimed at disenfranchising marginalized voters. Progressives have advocated for automatic voter registration, expanded early voting, same-day voter registration, and restoring voting rights to individuals with past felony convictions. They have also supported efforts to combat gerrymandering and ensure fair representation for all voters. Progressive politicians have prioritized economic justice as a means of addressing systemic racism and economic disparities. They have supported policies to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, increase access to affordable housing and healthcare, and expand economic opportunities for marginalized communities through targeted investments in education, job training, and entrepreneurship. Progressives have also advocated for initiatives such as baby bonds or reparations to address the historical wealth gap between white and black Americans. Progressive politicians have worked to address inequities in the education system that disproportionately affect students of color. They have supported measures to increase funding for public schools in low-income communities, promote diversity and inclusion in school curricula and staff, and expand access to high-quality early childhood education and college affordability programs. Progressives have also advocated for policies to address the school-to-prison pipeline and promote restorative justice practices in schools. Progressive politicians have recognized the disparities in healthcare access and outcomes experienced by communities of color and have advocated for policies to address these inequities. They have supported efforts to expand access to affordable healthcare through initiatives such as Medicaid expansion, the Affordable Care Act, and the implementation of a single-payer healthcare system. Progressives have also pushed for measures to address the social determinants of health, such as affordable housing, nutritious food access, and community-based healthcare services in underserved areas. Progressive politicians have highlighted the disproportionate impacts of environmental pollution and climate change on communities of color and low-income communities. They have supported policies to address environmental racism, such as stricter regulations on polluting industries, investments in clean energy and infrastructure, and prioritizing environmental justice in decision-making processes. Progressives have also advocated for measures to ensure that communities affected by environmental hazards have a voice in environmental policymaking and receive equitable access to resources and protections. In summary, progressive politicians have taken a multifaceted approach to address systemic racism, encompassing criminal justice reform, police accountability, voting rights, economic justice, education equity, healthcare equity, and environmental justice. By advocating for policies that address the root causes of racial disparities and promote equity and inclusion, progressives aim to create a more just and equitable society for all Americans. Well, I hope you like the video and give the channel a subscribe. Make sure to check out my other channel, Concise Chomsky, link is on the home page. Now, take care and bye-bye.